Troisième compagnie, deuxième section, function, transmitter, aversion colonel.
What is your real name?
No, I can't tell you that.
Why not?
That's part of security reasons in the Legion. You join up, you're given a new identity.
And his new identity is Legionnaire Robert Rivellin.
Hard one. What?
A new name, a 5-year contract, and a French passport at the end of it, if he chooses. And when you join up, you're no longer the man you were, because from now on, you belong to France. And more than that, from now on, you belong to the Legion.
My contract is if I'm told to go there, I go. And if it's Iraq, if it's Afghanistan, if it's in Africa, it's all the same in a way. I'm out there doing my job and that's it.
Legionnaires go where they're sent by France. The rights or wrongs of it, the politics, are not their concern. They are an army of foreigners paid to fight and die, if need be, for French interests, signing on in the full knowledge that they are expendable.
Are you prepared to die for the Legion?
If it works out that way, yeah, I am. I mean, I've signed up for that, and if it happens, it does, it happens.
Robert was just 18 when he enlisted, borrowed the airfare from his dad to get from Christchurch to Paris. This was 2 years ago.
Went up to the gates of the regiment and tapped on the door. I was kind of scared of what I was taking myself into. Said I'd like to join, didn't speak a word of French. The guy was kind of like, he understood. I mean, they see it every day.
You have to give the Legion everything.
Everything that's on you with your name on it, yeah. So I gave bank card, driver's license and my passport.
The Legion has always been known as the last refuge of murderers and misfits, a place where anyone could disappear if they wanted. There are other Kiwis here besides Robert. We wanted to talk to them, but they didn't want to talk to us.
How seriously do you question a Legionnaire about his past?
We want to be certain that there's no case of drug and no blood crime.
Captain Christophe Bellin, Legionnaire Rivellin's commanding officer.
By blood crime, you mean murder?
Yeah, clearly murder.
You won't allow murderers in the Legion?
No, why not?
It wasn't always so. Since its inception 170 years ago, the Legion has taken in any foreigner who measured up. Many try, only 1 in 8 are chosen. Not everyone is on the run, of course. Most, we're told, are here for high adventure, others for the money. Whatever, it comes at real cost. 35,000 Legionnaires have died fighting for France. The life, and it can be short, is as brutal as the training.
A lot of it's in the head, though. A lot of it's in the head. It's not necessarily you've got to be the biggest bloke out and the strongest, but a lot of it comes down to if you can do it in the head, your body will do it. So.
They sing in the Legion, sing with one voice that makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck. Everyone must sing. Everyone must march. March till you die is a motto as old as the Legion itself, whether it's going to the mess or going to war.
Never sung before like that, I mean.
Were you ever in the school choir?
No, never.
And absorption into French culture goes with the job. French is the language of the Legion. Every Legionnaire has to learn it, whether they're from Nigeria or from New Zealand. Did you speak a word of French before you joined up?
Bonjour, and that was about it. So I mean that's been one of the hardest things, picking up the language. I mean, but that's part of the job, and take it as it comes.
Okay, donc juste appuyer notre équipe là, à partir d'ici. Okay,
with recruits coming from 130 different countries, French becomes the only language they have in common. Legionnaires know that once they're in, there's a good chance they may not make it out. 1 in 10 die in combat or training. Officially, they're now part of the regular French army, but it's them, rather than French regulars, who are sent into combat first.
What sort of weapon is this one?
It's a 5.56 semi-automatic rifle.
Performs well?
Yeah, up to, if you're a good shot, up to 300 metres. If you're a really good shot, you can hit up to 400 metres.
Theirs is not to question orders, theirs is to obey. It's drilled into them, day in, day out, to complete the mission or die trying.
We are paid to not to surrender. We are paid to conduct the mission, whatever the price. And when you start in the Legion, if you are officer, NCO, or basic legionnaires, you know that it's the important point.
Always accept the mission.
Yeah,
Never fail a mission.
I hope so.
No retreat, no surrender.
I hope so.
This is where Robert Rivellin has been posted, the rugged and picturesque island of Corsica, just off the south of France. Ancient Calvi is home to the 2nd Parachute Regiment, the most elite in the Legion. Legionnaire Premier Class Robert Rivellin is a paratrooper, 2nd Platoon, 3rd Company.
Doors open up, you get told to stand up, and that's where adrenaline starts going. You're kind of not sure whether I should have chosen this job.
They'll jump from just 300 metres up.
And then more or less you just put your body together and put your head down and hope for the best.
And there are a lot of injuries.
There are a lot. I mean, there's always a guy coming out with a broken leg or a broken arm or something sprained. But I mean, that's part of the job, so.
Whether it's out of planes or into the med, the training never stops. They'll swim up to 8 Ks with full kit during an amphibious assault practice. Like some modern-day ninjas, they pride themselves on being able to strike anywhere, anytime.
It's definitely tough. I mean, for me, I'm a young guy. It's one of the toughest things I've done. I mean, some things I've done, I mean, they're just extraordinary. Just sack on the lockers.
The regiment is permanently on combat alert. The quarters are Spartan, little in the way of home comforts. A man's world. Women are excluded from joining up.
Does it get lonely?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's been 2 years since I've been home. I'm still a young guy. I'd like to be. I think I'm at home 20, going out on the weekend and having a good time, but I've chosen this, so.
Did he check?
Robert's life runs to the strictest of regimes, right down to the ironing. 14 creases per shirt. That's what the Legion demands.
Between each crease there's a certain distance, like on the front I think it's 1.5 centimetres.
Now, what's the punishment if one of these creases is not razor sharp?
I've heard, if it's really, really bad, I've heard, you could go to jail, but I don't want to specify on that.
Every morning, nervous and freshly ironed legionnaires line up for inspection on the parade ground. For the hapless trooper, a non-regulation crease or stray wrinkle is enough to be put on latrine detail, or worse.
What about the discipline? Arrive 1 minute late for roll call in the morning, and you could be facing jail time.
Yeah, you can be put up for jail time if you come back late for the roll call in the morning. So that's your decision. I mean, if you go out into town, you have a good night, but you got to make sure you get yourself back at 6 in the morning.
That's every morning.
Every day of the year we have a roll call.
One of our traditions is to always be perfect in the dress, perfect in the physical training, perfect in the way to prepare yourself.
But how does anyone prepare themselves for lunchtime at the French officers' mess, where the good Capitaine Ballin is master of ceremonies? Camaraderie is everything for the officers and men. Their first allegiance, after all, is to the Legion to one another.
Is faithful first to his chief and to his comrade. And the notion of flag or the notion of laws are not important. It's the fact to be faithful to the comrade and to the leaders.
On the battlefield, the rules, the discipline, the male bonding all makes sense. Last year, Robert and the Legion were sent here, the Ivory Coast, West Africa, and ordered to hold the line between government and rebel troops. Hundreds of civilians already killed, tens of thousands fleeing their homes, and France accused of propping up an unpopular government. This was Robert's first taste of combat.
I can tell you the first time I heard bullets going off not too far away was probably more adrenaline than jumping out of the plane.
There were Legion casualties, 4 in this firefight alone, shrapnel wounds mostly. But Robert came through unscathed.
We had some RPG-7 rocket launchers blowing over our heads, which was still 10 metres above our heads, which we were lucky. I mean, I learned a lifetime's experience being out there.
Back at home base, Camp Rafale, Corsica, on this morning, Robert Rivellin, the Legionnaire from faraway New Zealand, nervously joins the queue for an audience with the Colonel. Wearing full colours, including his Ivory Coast Service Medal, Legionnaire Rivellin's record is reviewed and his progress charted. He's learned that after 2 years' service, he is now eligible for corporal's training, and the chances are he'll soon be back in combat.
Have you changed much as a person since joining the Legion?
Not necessarily as a person, but I mean, in the way I carry myself, definitely. I mean, I've turned from a civilian to a soldier.
They've turned you into a Frenchman,
no,
sort of.
In a way, yeah. You speak the language, you live the customs, but I'll never be a Frenchman. I'm always a New Zealander. I'll be a Kiwi.
Legionnaire de Premier Class Rivellin.
Hard one. Encore un coup.